Well, hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and thank you for joining me here on the Cycling Day Extra. Ewan is somewhere. We'll see where when he, uh, materializes into existence. But nevertheless, it is the fourth stage of Paris-Nice, and with Danish eyes, it's a very interesting affair that we have here because we have obviously got not only have we got the leaders jersey with Magnus Cort Nielsen after the torch was passed from countryman Mads Pedersen yesterday after that incredible time trial that we had from Jumbo Visma, but also in the break we have got Jonas Vingegaard of Uno X Pro Cycling, who you will recall has a wildcard to. I'm just trying to find. There's a tab open. Uh, who are, of course, going to the Tour de France for the first time in the team's history and being invited to a Tour de France for the first time is a huge achievement for them. And they definitely will try and maximize their chances here in another ASO race. They've been in quite a few, if I can recall. They were at Flèche Wallonne last year. But nevertheless, great to have people on the stream. I know it's a weekday. It's yeah. But Paris needs 56.2 kilometers left. Peloton are 4 minutes and 8 seconds, but there is a lot of crosswind as we are so used to in the form of Paris Nice. So it's there's still a lot to go. We have a very interesting climb by the near of the finish, and that should be where we potentially see the two last winners of the Tour de France go head to head potentially. About 4 minutes and 4 seconds here, and yeah, make sure to get involved in the chat as well. Alex Bini there, just Bini's not in the race. Bini of Gamay is in Treno Adriatico. Where should we have covered Tirreno instead of Paris Nice? That's always the eternal debate between these. But we have got a breakaway up the road, and I haven't really divulged who they are. We got Larry Warbass, who has been riding for AG2R Citroën for a long time. Remember, he was riding for Aqua Blue back in 2018 and took that incredible stage in 2017, the Tour de Suisse. But their former American champion hasn't really been getting great results for his own Palmares. I think he's been riding in the services of a lot of riders, but he's in the breakaway. We also got Pascal Acorn, the rider who's changed to Lotto Destiny after riding with Jumbo Visma since he started his career in 2018. So the Dutch national champion, or yeah, Dutch national champion. We'll see what he can do. I didn't actually spot that in the right on the screen, but Maurice Ballasted, who I've never heard of, a German riding for Alpecin de Koenig. Let's try and let's learn a bit more about Maurice. Maurice, he's 22 years old, German, born in Berlin, and this is his first year on the World Tour with Alpecin de Koenig, but it's also their first year. But nevertheless, right now, the riders are split. They're trying to get control of this field. We can see that the Norwegian national champion trying to get a hold or the control of the peloton. We got Bora Hansgrohe up there, Ineos Grenadiers as well. All of them jostling for position here. The positioning in Paris-Nice is so important because of the crosswinds, but this is a downhill section. EF Education Easy Post are the leaders, and I mean, are they too bothered about today? Probably not. Magnus Cort Nielsen, I don't think they're going to think that the Dane is going to be holding on to the yellow jersey. But yeah, 54.2 kilometers. The Mouse's jersey is up the road. We haven't even got to him yet. Ugo Ull is up here as well, the Israel Premier Tech rider, the only rider to finish for Israel Premier Tech last year of Paris-Nice. And yeah, we also have Lilian Camojan, a very strong French rider, former stage winner at the Tour de France. I'm not sure he's actually won a stage of Paris-Nice. I don't think he has. But riding for Intermarché Wanty-Groupe for the first time in his career after changing from AG2R Citroën last year. Anas Skorstef of Uno X. So Uno X have two riders, one Norwegian, one Dane. And Jonas Vingegaard, the former Astana rider and friend of the channel as well. He's a very nice guy. But UAE Team Emirates getting to the front here of the peloton. Jumbo Visma up here as well. Jumbo Visma seem like they have two trains here. But Trentin, Miguel Biao, and then Tadej Pogacar right now. This is getting very interesting. We're getting up to the Courte de Verment, which is a small climb of 2 kilometers, 5.7%, and a categorized free climb. So nothing too testing. The last kilometer of that climb seems like it more goes up into the alpine territory of between 7 to 8%. But yeah, UAE Team Emirates, they are the team many people are looking at. Such a supreme performance yesterday, in terms of limiting their losses to potentially better teams. I would have backed Jumbo-Visma all the way to the finish to take potentially a minute out of them, but they didn't there over the 32-kilometer course. But 53.1 kilometers, they're heading closer. The breakaway, the breakaway first, obviously, but the peloton as well. They've taken about a 20-second chunk out of their lead now, so it's down to 3 minutes and 38 seconds with 53 kilometers to go. And the terrain that we've got on hand. Reminder that we have not just this categorized climb, we've actually got 2 other categorized climbs left as well, and then we also have a bonus seconds as well, the Col du Berlouis. So that comes with about, I would say, 19 kilometers to go. But at the front of affairs, Matteo Trentin, the former European champion, such a strong classics one-day racer, really showing his role here in the team, guiding Tadej Pogacar. Tadej Pogacar is, as we know, the big superstar, but Jumbo-Visma, one of their big superstars, Jonas Vingegaard, the defending Tour de France champion as well, very interested in this. But the Danes are running riot here. They are really running riot. Currently having 2 jerseys, the polka dot and the yellow jersey. Who actually has the green jersey? That's an interesting thought, to be honest. We have got Mads Pedersen. So it's okay. So 3 Danish riders occupy 3 Danish riders occupy 3 of the 4 shirts, and Aubry actually overtook the white jersey from Tadej Pogacar as well. So Tadej Pogacar is not sitting as the youth leader in the youth classification. I think this may be his last year in that classification. No, he's 24. I think he has one more year. Yeah. I think he is probably gonna. He's probably gonna win it, the white jersey, if he keeps on his bike at the Tour de France, and he would set the record for the most white jersey wins as well. But it's interesting now. We'll see what happens with this breakaway. Gregor was actually interviewed before the stage and said he was probably not going to go in the breakaway, but Uno X have 2 riders up here, so that's really good riding from them. But Uno X with that polka dot jersey, can he take it? We haven't, polka dot jersey at Paris-Nice, a very, very niche classification. There is a bit of prestige on that, but I must say, if you said Scott, who won it last year, I would be a bit puzzled, and I'm frantically trying to find Wikipedia so we can try and look at that. But it's not like the Tour de France where we have a whole page for the mountains jersey classification. It's also a very different type of riding in terms of like a 3-week long stage race, obviously. So that's why the names between these 2 competitions in the Grand Tours and the 1 week are not very similar. There's not a great trend, but UAE Team Emirates, Bahrain Victorious are looking to join the party here as well. And Trek Segafredo, why are they up here? That's a peculiar one, if you will. But I'm trying to get us some mountains jersey. Obviously, Wikipedia only care about the winners of Paris-Nice. Last year we had our first ever, can you believe it, first ever Slovenian winner, and people didn't really talk too much about that. I think that was the whole narrative, that Primož Roglič was more that he lost it rather than the year before, and they were so dominant Jumbo-Visma, taking over the jersey duties of what we saw with what we saw with Sky, basically using this as a tune-up race, getting ready for the main goal of the Tour de France. But when you look at the winners from, we've spoken about it in the preview as well. We actually forgot to mention Richie Port, but that dominance started in 2012. Bradley Wiggins, Richie Port, Richie Port again. Well, 2 years later, then Geraint Thomas, then Sergio Henao, then Marc Soler won it, then Egan Bernal, and then it's kind of since then, 2019 was the last time. But the correlation between the winner of this race and winning the Tour de France has a quite interesting correlation. Okay, obviously Sean Kelly has dominated this race, but never really happened. And the reason why I'm not talking about the race, where I got 1.6 kilometers to the next climb for the breakaway. Lilian Camachon is the rider in the picture now. Jonas Vingegaard, and I promise you that's the best pronunciation you'll hear on English commentary across the world, because Danish names are very hard for English speakers, as we've come to find out. I've still yet to meet an English speaker who can pronounce Danish names, but there must be some out there. But yeah, Denmark are becoming the new Slovenia. Remember, well, I still struggle with some of the Slovenian names. Tadej Pogacar was Tadej Pogacar. What was it in the beginning? Yeah, but yeah, Lilian Camachon just being interviewed at the beginning of the stage. They're showing that, and Intermarché have been such a strong team, such a strong, what would you say? Such a strong start to the season. But as I just stumble over my words, we see Jumbo Visma and Ineos Grenadiers trying to do a team drag race here to get control of the team, of the peloton again. They've managed to just again scrape down about 20-30 seconds in a very short space of time. So that just shows you the difference between the group out in front and the peloton group here. They're really hammering it now, and obviously they have fresher riders. In a breakaway, you take more of the work, whereas in a peloton, the feeling of being in a peloton is incredible. You can literally not pedal and just get pulled along on some days as well. Okay, it'll be a bit more what would you say, careful here in Paris-Nice, because or side winds are very very apparent or common occurrence. But just, yeah, in 300 meters they said they just wiped out another 13 seconds here. So if that is true, the peloton are really drilling in here, with Ineos Grenadiers taking up the duties, and the green jersey here coming up as well. And we know, very bad green jersey, but they are on the Courte de Vernet. 1 point. Okay, apologies for the French. We haven't got you in here, but yeah, not a huge climb, 5.7% here. But if they really are hammering it, they could take another 30 seconds, if not 40 seconds, out of the peloton here. They're 400 meters away from the top now. And who's going to take the Masters jersey? You would think that it's Vingegaard that would take the points here. It seems like that's the sole objective here, potentially, added with the Christoph leadouts for Uno X Pro Cycling. And yeah, it should be very interesting to see how Uno X do here. Was that just a bottle that was very close? Matteo Trentin, I think, narrowly just avoided something. Oh no, he threw a bottle. Drama alert just died down. But again, they've just taken another 8 seconds out of the peloton, or their breakaway. So UAE and Ineos Grenadiers really ramping up the pace here. Ineos Grenadiers, one of the big losers yesterday, if you recall. Really, really not doing well. But yeah, King of the Mountains coming out in here. We're seeing Uno X really drilling it at the front here. Jonas Vingegaard is the leader. We think he's going to take all the points here. We should just I should just try and figure out. Yeah, he looks behind Vingegaard. Is he going to be challenged? That is a good question here. I'm not sure. Vingegaard is just pushing on here, looking around tentatively, and he takes it. And his teammate takes second, and Akon third. 3 points to Vingegaard. So yeah, scores. Seth takes the second place, but Vingegaard I was just going to try and see if Gregor would be keeping the jersey, but I mean, if I was him, I'd try and go all the way to the finish here. And Gregor, he's apparently the rider who's been in the most breakaway already at this year's Paris-Nice, obviously getting a bit of a break in some sense yesterday. But yeah, Ineos Grenadiers are the ones pushing on here. I'm not quite sure who it is pushing on, but Großschartner is up here. And yeah, Großschartner just trying to move up the front here. Ineos Grenadiers really need to do something here. Such a underwhelming performance. 10th place, a team that yeah, a team that's so renowned for being good at team time trialing. But Großschartner, the Austrian national champion here, such a formidably strong rider. Number 2 going out the back for Jumbo-Visma, and that is Eduardo Effini, 72, going out the back as well. That is Kamil Gradek, the Polish rider, one of the 2 Polish riders riding for Bahrain Victorious. Bahrain Victorious, what is their goal here? Is it Wout Poels? Is it Gino Mera? Is it Jack Haig? 3 very strong riders, but they didn't all really have a good year last year. But Ineos, or not Jumbo's not at the front here, but Mads Pedersen fighting as well. Is he working for his younger teammate and countryman, Matthias Skelmose, who's had a formidably strong set of results in France? I think he's only raced in France this year. Yeah, listen to this. Matthias Skelmose, 22 years old, from Denmark, Copenhagen, best city in Denmark. Obviously, I'm biased. But Etoile de Bessèges, he was second, almost winning it, going in with the leader's jersey in the final time trial, only losing to Nelson Puales, which was so sad. But then going into the Tour de Alpes Maritimes, and he was he was 5th there, but took stage 2, winning stage 2 and picking on the points classification. Then 3rd at the Four Ardèche Classic, and then now we're here in Paris-Nice and sitting currently in 25th. And well, if we are continuing this Danish theme, I think it was wrong not to talk about him as well. But what are we saying? Don't do it if... Oh, no, stage 4 isn't finished. Stage 4 is still going. Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button. We're 30 on the stream, so great to have you all here. Let me know where you're watching from as well. Paris-Nice, and thanks for joining here in midweek on a Wednesday. We are going to get Ewan at some point as well, just coming back from university. But yeah, Uno X, and well, Uno X isn't really the big focal point of today's stage. It is going to be Tadej Pogacar, it's going to be Jonas Vingegaard, we say, and potentially we could see a Yates getting stuck in there, or Danny Martinez after losing that huge chunk of time. Danny Martinez was so good last year. He was so good the year before as well, taking stage wins in Paris-Nice. He's won up the Col de Torini. He's such an accomplished rider, doing so well. Last year at the Tour de France, 29th, wasn't really great. 8th at the Tour de Suisse. Winning the Tour of Basque Country, which was formidable. 3rd in Paris-Nice. And yeah, we haven't got the winner from last year's Paris-Nice. But the second place is here as well, Simon Yates. And they had a really good ride. What are they called? Jaco Ayula. But yeah, Danny Martinez, such a great 1 week stage racer, and you would think that he would get himself into a top 5 despite being currently in quite far down. We're seeing Arnaud Demar as well. Oh shoot, I didn't realize Arnaud Demar was in the race. That's on me. But yeah, Danny Martinez already winning the Vuelta al Garve this year. It wasn't great at the San Juan International. I think it was more focusing on Ghana and Egan Bernal. But yeah, at the front of affairs, I mean, that does look like Omar Freire, Spanish bands there. We're also seeing Remy Cavagna trying to get up as well. But yeah, Ineos Grenadiers, formidably strong team. They're still probably celebrating their Strade Bianche win, which is like fair enough. But at the front of affairs, we still have 2 minutes and 35 seconds, shall I say. Jonas Vingegaard, the Mountains jersey wearer, is on the offensive. And I did promise you to tell you how many points he's got. I don't think we have a... Oh no. Pro Cycling Stats doesn't work. Oof. Does it work? No. That's very sad. But yeah, I'll try and get you the points. We'll try and Paris-Nice, their website. But it is Paris-Nice, a very, very interesting, unique 1 week race, you would say. The nature of the course, finishing in Nice, the crosswinds, the beautiful landscape, the horrid weather sometimes. I can tell you here in England, it's very, very cold, and there's a lot of snow, which is very bad in England because then the country shuts down. But luckily they've avoided that in Nice. But yeah, in terms of what Magnus Cort said at the start of the race, we're just seeing pictures of the yellow jersey here. He said, "I'm very happy. I didn't know whether I could take the yellow jersey, but we had dreamt of doing something great. We had great ambitions, so this is not totally unexpected." I mean, EF Education Easy Post, I must say, are a really fascinating team, and they have not even like deployed their strongest rider right now this season. The newly signed, the newly signed, the newly signed. What are we saying? The newly signed name Carapaz. There we go. But in terms of the jersey hunt for the polka dot jersey, we are seeing Gregor. He has 11 points, I think, or it might have been 11 points at the start of the race. But Treno Adriatico is helping as well. It's such an interesting race. We saw yesterday Fabio Jakobsen won. But yeah, Pro Cycling Stats not working. That's such a shame. But yeah, we are getting ever closer. 43.3 kilometers, 2 minutes and 47 seconds. So the peloton have taken the sting out of tail a bit in terms of the chasing the breakaway. Jonas Gregor, will he be able to get all the way to the finish and take maximum category points? I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not even sure they would take the next categorized climb. Would they? Okay, I'm going to say they're not going to be able to take the points classification. But yeah, I mean, you might disagree with me. Where do you think the breakaway is yeah, Glass 888 is saying servers on overload. I think that's probably true as well. And yeah, great to have you here, John, as well from Philly. And I appreciate everyone joining. I know it's not the Cycling Dane. This is kind of, we're trying to, yeah, help the Cycling Dane extra as well with a bit of love. But yeah, we've got Mikkel Bjerg now, another Dane. Danes everywhere in this race. It's getting silly. And I say that as a Dane myself. But yeah, Mikkel Bjerg, are they trying to really split up things? Just putting the hard pressure on the other riders here, on the other teams, UAE team members. I think they absolutely, you can say what you will about the team time trial yesterday. I thought it was a stupid concept. But it definitely, they played the game perfectly, you would say. Absolutely utilizing their numbers and the strategy to perfection here. Using the rule, really thrusting Tadej Pogacar up the road, and yeah, I don't think they could have lost less time, if that makes sense. But yeah, Jumbo-Visma, Ineos Grenadiers, UAE Team Emirates, they're all at the front. The three top teams in cycling right now. You could throw Soudal Quickstep maybe in the mix there as well, but I think these three are the biggest juggernauts right now in the sport. But Magnus Cort, he is the leader. Is he the token leader? Yeah, we'll see if he can hold it today. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. And yeah, it might go from Dane to Dane to Dane, as in Mads Pedersen to Magnus Cort to Jonas Vingegaard. I mean, that would be a big, huge treat for all of Denmark. But I think we've got Pro Cycling Stats back, and I think we also have Ewan back here. But yeah, 41.9 kilometers left here, and it's a very interesting stage to say the least. And let's see if we are going to have some fireworks. But still two categorized climbs left. We got the points classification as well. So a lot still to happen on the stage. 2 minutes and 44. So they've not really taken out the lead here. They've kind of consolidated their advantage Oh, not really, because they haven't really done it. The Peloton have just taken the power out, the injection of power in. But yeah, great to have you here, Ewan. And Paris-Nice Stage 4, it's looking like it's starting to heat up here.
Yeah, but exactly that. We're getting some sort of breakups here. Some riders getting distanced already with 41k to go. We began the stage in Julien Alaphilippe's hometown of Saint-Amand-Montrond, and we're heading up towards La Loge des Gardes. Not far away from the Loire Valley, a very different part of the Loire Valley from yesterday. And yeah, it looks like it is hotting up, uh, both in the breakaway and in the peloton.
Yeah, I think Uno X are doing a very good here because they're really putting themselves on the screen, and that Mountains jersey is very well, it's uncontested, you would say. Not really any other team trying to get it, but UATM Emirates with their Dane, Miguel Biao, really putting the pressure on here.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting here. Miguel Biao properly getting into the groove. Tim Wellens second wheel as well. So evidently they want something out of this. Are we going to see a long range move from Pogo?
I mean, that would be quite funny. Well, it would be interesting, but yeah, Ewan, we've spoken about Jonas Vingegaard, Tadej Pogacar, but there are other riders here as well. Ineos Grenadiers are trying to get themselves into the mix as well, losing a huge chunk of time. Bit uncharacteristic yesterday, but Danny Martinez, we've spoke about his pedigree in the 1 week stage races. Such one of the you would say one of the top five 1 week stage race riders potentially in the last 2-3 years. But yeah, he's really on the back foot here.
Yeah, he is. And Ineos are going to have to do something special if they want to bring back this deficit that Martinez has. Here we go. The Alpecin de Koenig rider getting caught. I believe that's Ballerstedt from Germany, just getting swept up by the peloton here. And yeah, Miguel Biao, Tim Wellens going pretty aggressive at the moment. It's Domen Novak on the front of the peloton now, the rider from Novo Mesto in Slovenia, and up at the front of affairs, Pascal Eenkorn has distanced the rest of the breakaway.
Yeah, good move by the Dutch national champion here. That is a good move.
Yeah, he's a good descender. I've never really noted his descending skills, but he's showing it right now. He's not afraid to go off on front on the downhill. Just a reminder of the riders in the breakaway with Pascal Eenkorn. We have Larry Warbasse, Lilian Calmejean, Hugo Hull, Anders Skorset, and Jonas Vingegaard of Denmark, who's wearing the polka dot jersey. Some good names up here. Hugo Hull, who won last year the Tour de France. Lilian Calmejean, who's won at the Tour de France in the past as well. And Larry Warbasse, former American champion. He's never won on a Grand Tour, I don't think.
No. The Tour de Swiss stage back in 2017. Oh, is this young Joshua Tarling at the front?
I think it is.
Yeah, the 19-year-old 1 meter 94 rider who's I think he won the Tour of Wales last year because someone who was on the echelon, he actually rode that race and just told of that incredible power of this young kid.
Well, is he going to bring that to power to the adult peloton, the elite peloton? Eenkorn now really pushing it.
And it's wet as well. It's wet.
Yeah, it's and I mean the roads around here as well, not the best roads. You always hear riders complaining about the sort of the central roads of France. So it looks like it's been relatively recently paved as well, I got to say.
Yeah. I mean, you should hope so when you've got the second biggest race in your country coming through. But yeah, the advantage has gone down a bit. It's still hovering around the 2 minutes 40, 2 minutes 45. But there's a bit of a response here from the breakaway group, or the remnants of the breakaway. Jonas Vingegaard, knowing that there's another categorized mountains, what should we call it? Point. There's more mountains points up for grabs here, so he's desperately trying to get hold of that. And Ewan, if I said to you, can you name me the 5 last polka jersey dot winners of Paris-Nice? I think that is a very niche. Yeah, because I was trying to think of it. I can't. It's not really something I think about too much. Winners of.
So,
last
I remember last year when I saw the race, it was Matt Holmes in the polka dot jersey. Did he win it?
Yeah, I'll try and find out. You weren't here, but we lost
Um,
Pro Cycling Stats for a moment. The servers went down.
oh no. Also, I can recall Thomas de Gent won it in the past
Yeah,
as
but we
well.
won.
That
We won.
happened.
Yeah, exactly. The specific.
Um,
Did Daniel Tekla not? Did he win this, or was that the Dauphiné one? He definitely wore the jersey. I remember that because that was such a huge moment for air train cycling. But yeah, that aside, 36.8 kilometers. Get involved in the chat as well if you know the polka dot jersey winners of time gone by.
oh no, I was so off.
Have you found any of them? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I did.
Last year, Madoise.
Okay, Thomas de Gent was
Yeah,
correct.
but you didn't
To
say
be fair,
year.
he won
You
it
didn't say a
twice.
year.
Um, okay, even if I were going to say a year, I would have said 2017, and he didn't win it in 2017. Otherwise, Nicolas Ede won the COVID Paris-Nice polka dot jersey. Anthony Perez won it in 2021, and Valentin Madoise won it last
Well,
year.
that's embarrassing, Ewan.
He was in the breakaway on the stage that I saw in the Rhone
That's quite
Valley. He
embarrassing.
was up there getting
Yeah, it's
mountains
quite
points. I
embarrassing.
should have been aware.
As the unofficial president of the Liverpool Madoise fan club, you should have known that.
I should have put my Breton flag up today. I will do that tomorrow.
But
Put that up in the
Ineos
background.
Grenadiers are going down or leading the peloton down the descent, not quite as fast as their teammate Pidcock in videos we've seen in the past, but yeah, 7 seconds is the lead now for Akon that he's built up. So, I mean, I wouldn't be the peloton are not going to be worried, but they have just given away 10 more seconds to the breakaway here. So Ineos Grenadiers not really injecting that sense of pace or urgency that we had from UAE Team Emirates moments ago. But Akon still at the front. That road is sketchy. That is sketchy. There's patches of wet everywhere. Fair play to him for descending so fast. But he has to. That you got if you were willing to win it. Oh, is that Pro Cycling Stats' caravan? No, I don't think so. I think just any caravan. It's kind of like it may be. About 35.5 kilometers left here, and we still have a long way to go.
Yep, and it's Pascal Aenkorn off on front, whose surname is remarkably close to the Dutch word for a squirrel. Just think of him as our little squirrel today. Still in the group, Larry Warbass, Lilian Calmejane, who's now riding for Intermarché, also Hugo Hull, Anders Skorset, and Jonas Vingegaard. So two Scandinavians here. Anders Skorset, I do like him. I remember him being quite visible a couple of years back at the World Championships for Norway. I believe in the Qatari World Championships. But ever since, I mean, he's been a solid teammate. A really good engine is Anders Skorset. We'll see what he can bring today for Grego. But it looks like the peloton are sort of ramping things up. We can see at the front now, it's Domen Novak, Tim Wellens, and Miguel Biel trying to up the pace. And Jumbo-Visma, they're just kind of waiting in the wings. Groupama Francaise Déjà as well are aware of the danger as... sorry, Jonas Vingegaard just takes a quick toilet break. Saw that on the side of the screen.
We can. Yeah, they quickly cut away from that.
Yep, Senna Lazen is dropped as well. I can tell his frame from a mile away. And a couple of riders from Alpecin who are not going to break their Paris-Nice curse.
I mean, I don't think we've ever seen a Tour de France champion or a reigning Tour de France champion relieve himself like that on the bike. And yeah.
No, I mean, plenty of times.
Yeah, but not
it.
like when have you seen Tadej Pogacar or obviously yeah, it depends on when it is. Normally they stop, but the race is going now, so there's not time for a toilet break right now on the side of the road. But 33.7 kilometers, 10 seconds Akon built up in that descent, or it was up to 15. So yeah, really good riding from him. Really taking the descent into his own hands.
Yeah. Just looking at the group getting dropped. A couple of riders from Total. I think it might be in the white jersey has dropped as well. So Kel O'Brien off the back. No surprises there. So Pogacar back in white.
Yeah. what I thought was funny was that we had a Dane passing the jersey to another Dane, and then Mads Pedersen overtook the points jersey, and Gregor obviously being in the polka dot jersey as well. So there was an article in Danish media yesterday that cycling experts across the world were getting a bit annoyed that of this Danish dominance. But I mean, we've had like a lot of years of no Danish dominance. This is our golden generation. It's our time. Britain had yours. France had theirs back in the 80s, 90s. Slovenia are still happening as well. We're correlating with them, but I think the UK, you're gonna get yours in about 5 years' time with the riders coming up. But we're seeing Jaco Ayula trying to move up here with Simon Yates and Ewan. I think he's one of the really exciting riders to watch today. What if he's Super Yates or not Super Yates? You spoke about Bettiol. I think Yates suffers from the same hot and cold.
Yeah, not quite to the same extent. Yates, I think, just sometimes he targets something so hard and it just misses the mark. You never know what you're gonna get from Yates.
Back.
But I reckon
back.
he's done well in Paris-Nice in the past, and I suspect he'll do the same. Some riders just gel better with certain races. I think maybe that's just Simon Yates and the Paris-Nice. A lot of riders from Alpecin-Deceuninck off the back as well. A couple of riders from EF Education First Easy Post. They have the yellow jersey, of course, at the back of Magnus Court. Will he still be leading this race in 32 kilometers time? That's the question. Of course, coming pretty close to winning in Algarve the other week. I mean, they're not really comparable, Paris and Algarve, but he did ride a good GC race there. But we'll wait and see. You never know with Magnus Court. He's such a sort of enigmatic rider, but also a very fun rider to watch.
Great.
Don't be surprised if he's up there, but also don't be surprised if he gets dropped with 10k to go.
Yeah. Great to have so many people in the chat. Eric Brown, great to have you here again. Camilla from Malmö in Sweden, great to have you here. Gladys as well. And do let us know. Get involved in the poll as well. Currently, who will be in yellow at the end of stage 4? It was swinging. It was actually 39% to both Tadej Pogacar and Vingegaard, but right now, Pogacar's leading by 1%. So a very tight poll, to say the least. One of the tightest we've had, I think, but judging by how many who have voted already. But we still have a break up the front. They have 5 kilometers to the top of the next categorized climb. And then after that, we only have one more categorized climb and also an intermediate sprint. Or is it a bonus second? I'm not sure.
Yeah, there'll be bonus seconds.
Okay, so that could be quite interesting.
Yeah, but just thinking about Malmö, whilst we can.
Paris-Nice and Malmö. That was quite a okay. Can you join the dot?
Here we go.
Can you join them?
Denmark's golden generation. There is a certain Skånska rider, born in Skåne, Fredrik Vandal. He was born in that part of Sweden, so Sweden can claim him. He's not riding this race, but he's part of this great Danish new generation, bigging up the Skåne energy. Heya Malmö! Heya Sverige!
That was not a connection. The fact that he's not even in the race.
Yes, but I wanted to shoehorn a link somehow to put Denmark in their place. It's not all about Danish-born riders. Come on. Nevertheless, Domin Novak is upping the pace, swings over, it helps Miguel Biel comes to front. Florian Seneschal, I'm surprised, is still up here. Who are they protecting today? Quick step.
Yeah, what is going on?
That's Cavagna in the wheel. We're not far away from Remy Cavagna's hometown, to be fair.
Strange. But Jumbo-Visma up here as well. They're kind of keeping out of the front. They're playing we don't have to do any work because we're we have the advantage of the GC teams, courtesy of that performance yesterday. But 4.4 kilometers, there's definitely a bit of wind going on here. There's no snow. If you're in, most of Northern Europe right now, or the west of Europe, there's snow everywhere. Like, yeah, England.
I look outside the window. And
I can see snow as well. But luckily, there's no snow in Paris-Nice.
Yep. There wasn't Belgium. There was actually the women's race.
Oh, yeah. There was two. Yeah, 2 races got cancelled.
Yeah. Well, it's International Women's Day, so make of that what you will. They got the day off racing as a as a prize almost. Oh, out the back here is Søren Vardenskjold of Norway, saying farewell to the cameras. I'm surprised. I thought he was hardy enough to be there. He won a really hardy sprint at the Saudi Tour last month. I mean, Saudi Arabia and the Loire are currently two very different climates, two very different biomes. Oof, Seneschal's gone as well.
Bang. So confusing to see Sodal on a quick step leg. But yeah, that's the nature of sponsors. But yeah, it didn't. Yeah, they stole Omega Pharma as well. Omega. Do you remember that? It used to be Omega Lotto
Yes.
or whatever, and then they went over to Quickstep. So Quickstep are just a few years time we're gonna have Quickstep Destiny.
Well, it's almost like one team gets more visibility than the other. It's probably more bang for your
Speaking of
buck.
visibility, Tim de Klerk.
However, I'm upset we don't see the Lidl sponsorship anymore. I thought that was really fun. Even with my non-cycling friends, if I like watched racing, they would remember the Lidl team. That's what we need. We need the Lidl team back. But Pogacar's coming towards the front. Behind him, it's Omar Fraile in the wheel. Danny Martinez as well. Looking further back, Jonas Vingegaard is being protected by the tall figure of Nathan van Hooijdonk for the moment, who's still in the mix, second in GC. Whilst Domen Novak, the man from Novo Mesto in Slovenia, is still pushing on the front. Came so close to a Giro win last year, moved over from Bahrain to UAE, and now he's in contention. And Barde's towards the sort of second half of the group, you could say. He similarly grew up not too far away from here. So maybe eyes are on Bardet, who might know this road quite well.
Yeah, I think DSM did really well yesterday to limit their time. That was one of the teams where we were fearing this could be 2 minutes lost. 2 minutes and 2.8 kilometers, not minutes, until we get to the penultimate categorized climb of the day. For the breakaway, they've got 2 minutes and 6 seconds, so they've lost about 35 seconds in the last 10K. And yeah, there's less than 30K left for them to get to the top. Are they going to be there by themselves, or will this roaring peloton get them? We can see the UAE Team Emirates team riding in formation right now.
Yep, and they've probably got other personnel waiting in the wings. Number 82 towards the back. Is this Brian Coquard? Good ride from him.
Yeah, I was thinking as well, Juan Ayuso. We haven't really had him. Oh, he's out with an injury. Oops, my bad.
Yeah, and he's starting, I believe, in Catalonia.
He's just been removed today. He's starting in the Basque Country now.
Oh well,
That's
there
a
we go.
late season start. But yeah, if he's injured, you understand why.
Yeah, but just saying, Coquard hanging on at the back of the group. Dare I say, a contender for
I was gonna
Sanremo?
say tomorrow. Yeah, potentially.
Buani's
feel
come
like
close in the
you've said that
past,
before.
as has well, Demar has won it in the past as well. Coquard's finally got that World Tour stage win this year. Could he take the step up? Who knows? Miguel Biao in the front. Behind him, Novak, Wellens, Golschadner, and then Pogacar. So Golschadner, who looked really good yesterday
Oh,
in the time trial, was one of the top riders there. But Biao really stretching out the peloton, making this what the French would call a sausaged peloton. All in one big line now as they get closer and closer to La Loge des Gardes.
yeah, that was some proper ramping of exertion going on there by Miguel Biao. But I mean, we've spoken about that before, that it would be great to see the power numbers here, because then you could be like, oh, look at that. Miguel Biao is doing 500 watts here at the front of the pack. And you could get a bit more of a understanding of what was going on. But yeah, I mean, we will eventually try and catch up with Formula One, I guess. But yeah, Ineos Grenadiers lining up behind UAE Team Emirates, then Jumbo Visma behind them. Movistar is a team we haven't really spoken about. Matteo Jorgensen, whatever. But Traknag we're seeing as well. Jonas Vingegaard, very interesting what he will do today. Many people's favorite, but obviously in our poll, I think it's a swing to Tadej Pogacar right now. Yeah, 40% of you think Tadej Pogacar, the other 36%, or obviously there's more, thinking Jonas Vingegaard, but only 5% thinking Simon Yates is going to be the rider who's going to be wearing the yellow jersey at the end of the stage.
Well, Vingegaard there just looked towards the camera, gave a wave as well. Sort of to taking a page from the Pogacar book, where he usually looks towards the camera, gives a face and a hand gesture. Maybe Vingegaard is just trying to say, "Oh, I'm fine. This isn't doing anything to my legs. I'm here riding it cool." And he's got Tratnik in his wheel as well, who has shown good form already this year. In the breakaway, Larry Warbass on the front now, former American champion. And as you said, a Tour de Suisse stage winner in 2017. Pascal Eenkorn as well, the Dutch champion, accelerates a little bit on the front. Following is Lilian Calmajan, who won in Station des Russes at the Tour de France in 2017. It's like a 2017 throwback. Then we also have Scorset and Gregor as well, still in the group. Jonas Vingegaard going for the mountain points to keep that polka dot jersey. And just hanging on at the back, he always looks laboured, even when he's riding it cool, is Hugo Hull from Saint-Perpétue in Quebec, the rider who won in Foix at the Tour de France last year. It's a pretty all-star group.
Yeah. It's a very strong group we have at the front, but they are losing time. 1 minute and 50 seconds now. 450 meters now to the top. And we think it's going to be, they're not going to catch them before this, but do you think Gregor is going to be uncontested again? It would be the gentleman thing to do, to say the least.
Well, maybe Pascal Eenkorn wants the polka dots. Maybe someone else does. Miguel Biao's done. Miguel Biao actually needs a new bike. He's got a mechanical. Biao there unclipping his leg. Unclipping his foot rather, which is a sign that he probably needs a bike change. Yeah, but here we go. Miguel Biao with a new bike. The Dane, who put in a lot of effort there. So this will be frustrating for UAE, who are now one man down in sort of their personnel at the front of affairs here in Paris-Nice. With 1 kilometer to go until the top of this climb, can Biao make it back? We'll find out.
I think it's going to be a hard, well, never say never, because he could probably, if the cameras just disappear now, he'll probably just try and get behind. Yeah, they just went away there. He's probably going to try and slipstream all the cars all the way to the back of the peloton. So potentially, you never know here. But Gregor takes the points, and we will get you the updated of the points or the polka dot jersey in terms of I think he's going to be wearing it potentially. I'm not sure how many points are available at the top, but he takes the 3 points here, and should get interesting.
Yeah, and
he will keep it according to Rob Hatch.
Yeah, and the Scorset as well got these 2 points, so he blocked the other riders in the breakaway from sweeping up points. So that's good news for him. I believe there's 10 points to the finale at Les Loges des Gardes. Looking towards the front of affairs now, Movistar as well trying to get involved. For Matteo Jorgensen, a good pick for today, potentially, the rider from the United States of America. He doesn't know if he has Scandinavian ancestry, but he definitely has a Scandinavian surname.
14 points for Gregor in the Masters Jersey competition. And I didn't actually know this. That's quite interesting by Pro Cycling Stats. UAE Team Emirates have never won Paris-Nice. Never. Even as Lampre. Rui Costa is the closest. Second place.
But then I guess, true, Costa came close. But I guess because they're historically an Italian team, they probably cared more about Tirreno.
I mean, they've been up there, and they they are sending good riders here. Spilak, Ulisi when he was in his peak, Damiano Cunego, Rui Costa. So and then Joao Almeida.
I believe Spilak was riding for Katusha when that happened. I believe Spilak was riding for Katusha when he podiumed.
Oh, podiumed. Yeah, I didn't say he podiumed. They sent him they sent that caliber. That's what I mean. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, there we go. He did podium in the end. They have sent strong riders, and it is a bit of a surprise. I'm intrigued now to see if they've won Tirreno, because that's my only sort of form of justification, is that they cared more about Tirreno.
Yeah, last year, the year before with Tadej.
Oh, Jesus.
If you
Yeah,
met with
that's true.
Lamprey,
That's a
I
great
think
point.
that, yeah,
Scarponi won it for
yeah.
Lampre as well.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, per sempre. Per sempre.
25 kilometers left here. Jonas Vingegaard getting annoyed here because he wants his car and there's a car in the way. I think that might be the commissaire. What?
Yep. There you go now going up to Acorn. Hand on the back. I don't think Acorn's too happy about something. And I think Gregor's trying to diffuse the situation here. I think he might be frustrated that underscore sets was maybe blocking him, so he couldn't get points because he was sort of making it seem as if you guys are in my way and so forth. But I don't know. I don't know. We can only lip read and speculate at this point. But Gregor's at the back of the group in the polka dot jersey. We'll be wearing that one for another day. Good news for Uno X as well. It points towards big things to come when they start the Tour de France later this year. I'm not saying they're going to win the polka dot jersey, but definitely they could wear it for a couple of
Yeah, I
days.
mean, the polka dot jersey rules have changed so much ever since Anthony Chateau, he won it, which, who was it? Someone said Anthony Chateau isn't even the best climber in a 2.2 race, which I thought was very mean. But yeah, we'll see how what they do in their Tour de France. It's gonna be a very new dynamic for the whole team. Obviously, plenty of the riders have been at the Tour de France, Nick Lessie, Christophe, etc. But yeah, Gregor, this would probably this I think this would be the biggest result for Gregor in his career. Very nice guy. He does watch the Cycling Dane, so I don't. Yeah, I think this would be his biggest result to date. If we're gonna 10th at DC at the Tour of Denmark, it's not as big as this. I wonder if he's actually won a Masters jersey in the past before. I'll get back to you with that. But yeah, anyway, thanks every single one of you. We're almost at 100 here on the Second Day Extra channel. And yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button. Let's try to get to 100. We're only on 19, so I'm sure we can do better than that. But Jonas Vingegaard got interviewed at the beginning of the stage. And yeah, I mean, we can all guess what he was saying in that interview as we just hear a massive echo from Ewan's side. Not quite sure what that's about. But 23.2 kilometers, 1 minute and 27 seconds, so it's come down. And I mean, Jonas Vingegaard's interviews are always a bit funny in English. He's definitely come. He's not as shy as he used to be. So I think that comes with the territory of having to do so many interviews all the time. But 1 minute and 24 seconds. And it could be very close to the catch happening. And Ewan, how do you see this happening? Do you think we're going to see potentially Jumbo-Visma come to the front and absolutely just pulverize all the teams, and then we're going to have a select group of 5-6 riders, the heads of state here?
I think things are going to come back together within the next 10K, and we're going to go up La Loge des Gardes properly as a GC battle, which does favour UAE and their bonus seconds opportunities for Tadej Pogacar. Yeah, that's probably what is going to happen here. Once we hit the climb, I don't quite know if it's difficult enough to split the group up. It's steep, but it's short. So we'll find out, really. I'm intrigued. We've not really... I don't think we've seen this climb before at a race, so it's going to make things very, very fascinating. Coquard coming towards the front now as well to protect Izagirre, who's a good wild card for a day like today. It must be said.
Miguel Biel's at the front again.
Well, he
That
came
is
back
a
very quickly.
ride. That is some good riding by the Dane. Yeah, very good domestique for Tadej Pogacar in the past, and we spoke about it yesterday. I think it's so funny that Jonas Vingegaard has a Slovenian in Jan Tratnik, and Tadej Pogacar has a Dane in Miguel Biao, and both of them very similar riders to some respect, and used in the same kind of duties in terms of a GC race. Yeah, Miguel Biao, there was a very fascinating article from him a few years ago where he said that he had to come to terms with not being a world beater because he had been a 3-time under 23 world champion, but then stepping up to the senior, you find out that you're not the biggest rider, you're not the big fish anymore. There are bigger fish. And I thought that was a quite, yeah, very open record from one of the riders in a peloton.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that a lot of the riders at this youth level have to sort of face at some point when they're winning the biggest races in the world at the sort of at the under under 23 and junior level. Then boom, they go up to the senior level, and it just doesn't quite click, or they have to change their focus and what their aims are. We've seen it plenty of times with plenty of riders. And Miguel Biel, I think, has really found his niche after such a long time of not knowing what his niche was. I think he's now a really, really good helper on a profile like this. There are a few riders better than Miguel Biel at 60, 70 kilometers to go. He's a very reliable figure to be there, and also to make things difficult, to stretch out a group, and to cause difficulty on other teams. He's also a morale booster as well. Good guy, keeps the morale up in the team. And within UAE, he gets on very, very well with Pogacar, probably his best friend in the squad. So that's probably why his expertise and his morale boosting qualities, that's why he's always fielded to their Tour de France squads.
Yeah, that definitely helps as well. We're getting Domanova coming to the front now. So is Miguel Biao? I think he's third wheel. Yeah, he's still going in there. Is this Brian Cocao? Am I just?
It
Why is
is
Cofidis getting involved?
Izagirre?
Yeah, but why? Nobody's looking at Cofidis to do the work here. You
I
could get
know,
a free ride.
but Jonas Vingegaard, I feel like could be a good guy for a top five today.
But do you think this Cocar, there's something other going on here that this might be training for him for Milan San Remo, just getting a few hard racing miles in?
Yeah, potentially. Practicing for the Cipressa or the Poggio to come in 2 weeks' time. Well, 1.5 weeks' time now at Milano Sanremo. But Coca there, just flick of the elbow, looking around. Yeah, surprised to see him up here. The sprinter from Saint-Nazaire, a very, very flat part of the world. Up here towards Roanne in the Rhône-Alpes department. And the breakaway is splitting up, and it's Lilian Calmejean who's pushing on.
Good move here from him. They're inside almost the last 20 kilometers to go. And yeah, if the bonus seconds are available, I think they're going to be wiped out by the breakaway. So, I mean, nobody's thinking about the bonus seconds right now in terms of the finish. But Ugo's struggling here. Warbas struggling as well. So, yeah, Kamajan really splitting up the field here.
Yep, and if you're wanting to watch Tirreno Adriatico, now is your time. But keep our stream open. It's 1K to go in that race. And it's looking rather exciting, and down for a nail-biting sprint finish to the line in the city of Foligno. We'll keep you posted on what happens there. But in Paris-Nice, the breakaway is splitting up. Calmejean ain't corn. I mean, they've kind of come back together now. They just don't have either Gregor or Ugo Ull in tow anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is always the danger that every time you go, yeah, this start, stop, it always hampers the progress here. Oh, but I'm just watching the sprint in Tirreno.
Van der Poel is doing the lead out of his life, by the way.
Yeah.
It's good to see. It's good to see. He's such a good lead out, man.
He celebrated before. That was a lead out and a half.
Yeah, and there we go.
Back to Paris-Nice, stage 4.
If you don't want to know the results, cover your ears right now. But Alpecin Deceuninck have broken their curse for 2023, and it's Jasper Philipsen who wins stage 3 of Tirreno Adriatico. But I think that was really Van der Poel showing his strength here.
Yeah, what a turn of pace there by Mathieu van der Poel. He wasn't great in Strade Bianche, as we know, but yeah. He has bigger goals, let's be honest. He's won Strada. It's not going to add anything to his palmarès by winning a second, but winning Paris-Roubaix or third Ronde, that's going to add something.
Yeah, just seeing them come back together now. Van der Poel very excited with how that one went. Just think about back in 2021 when Tim Merlier won that sprint in Pontivy. It was Van der Poel who did a big share of the lead out that day. This guy, when he blows sort of in a lead out train, he is red molten hot. He's a fantastic lead out man. And Jasper Philipsen takes the win for Alpecin. So they finally get a win on the board in 2023. But we leave Italy and we move to central
Oh,
France,
Gregor.
and it's Lilian. Oh, yes,
Gregor.
sorry. Geigo has swept up by the peloton, but Lilian Calmajan has gone off the front of the breakaway. But Cofidis up in the
What
pace
is
there. I believe this is the other
what
Izagirre
is
brother.
Cofidis doing? Oh wait, have they got both Izagirre brothers? Because they didn't at one point. Gorka. I'm not sure they have both of them. No, the other one,
It it
the other
looked
one's
like
a movie star.
oh that was false news. I fake news indeed. Maybe it's Ruben Fernandez.
Speaking of riders who
It's not
didn't hit
Izagirre.
potential, a former Tour de l'Avenir winner never really achieved the heights that many people were expecting.
Yeah. And looking back, that looks like Tim Wellens, or is it Miguel Biao? No, Miguel Biao has been dropped. Miguel Biao of UAE and
They
Jonas
can have a
Vingegaard,
nice little
who
chat.
probably know each other. They're quite similar in
Oh,
age.
they definitely know each other. I think there's there's a Danish WhatsApp group of Danish riders on the world tour. So well,
Jonas
yeah,
Vingegaard's not
but
on the world tour anymore.
so he was in that, so he would have been in the chat when he was in Astana. Uh, Imagine that you get kicked out of that group. That must be a horrible feeling. But 18.6 kilometers, and it looks like Ugo Uld is almost being brought back here by the peloton. The breakaway, they really have splintered up. 38 seconds to the front of the breakaway here, and yeah, great to have almost 100 people here in the chat. We do know it's on the Cycling Day and Extra. We're just trying to give this channel a bit of love as well. And we had Paris-Nice on the Cycling Day and Extra last year, and we hardly had any subscribers on this channel. So come a far way in 1 year.
Yeah, a bit of continuity, if you will,
Oh,
between
Acorn
2000.
swept up as well.
Oh, yeah, Acorn's back, and it's Tim Wellens pushing on now, making the guys get out of their saddles.
Ooh,
You can see Luis Leon Sanchez.
yeah,
Hello.
2009 winner.
Always goes well in Paris.
How is that man still riding? Well,
And we
yeah, we
wonder.
won't speculate about that too much.
Tobias Fast as well, right towards the front of affairs, gritting his teeth for Jumbo. I can also see Aurélien Paris-Peintre as well on the right-hand side of the road. I also, a moment ago, saw Nielsen Paulus move up the group as well. Sorry, his name completely escaped me.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, but on the overhead shot, Jesus.
He's one of your
on
favorite
the aerial
riders.
shot, Trek, Arkea, Ineos, and Bahrain look so similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've said this. Oh my goodness, you're right. That is too similar. It's a bit like, yeah, Groupama FDJ with one other team as well. I think Quickstep, Soudal, or Soudal Quickstep. But 17.8 kilometers. Cofidis are leading the charge for the peloton. What a strange situation we're in. Larry Warbass just thumbs up, and yeah, the Jake Gyllenhaal lookalike, he's going to be swept up by the peloton here. 27 seconds still to go to the front end of the race for the peloton. But Luis Leon Sanchez telling the motor guys to go out the way. Why would he care? Like, why would he care?
He's El Jefe at this race. He is El Patron.
He
Out
literally
the back
is.
goes one of the riders from Trek Segafredo. Is that? That's Dan Hull. Dan Hula, yeah. Out the back. No, sorry, Tom Scoinge.
No, that wasn't Tom Scoinge.
Dan Hula. There we go. I believe Tom Scoinge is in Tirreno. I really should have revised the start list a little bit before. It was Dan Hula. There we go. I should have trusted my gut instinct. I thought I saw the Latvian flag on the armband, but I did not.
Jonathan Milan and Benjamin Thomas, two track riders who actually won titles at the European Championship not long ago. They have both left the race, unfortunately. But yeah, 16.9 kilometers. We still have a Norwegian and Lilian Calmajan out in front. So these two have a 25-24 second advantage now, still on the peloton. But we are thinking that they're going to be swept up soon. And Ewan, what kilometer do you think they're going to be swept on? I'm going to say 8, kilometer 8. Yeah,
8.
8 to go.
I'm going to say... I'm going to say... because it goes downhill after the sprint.
Oh, we're 100 people in the chat. Great to have you all here.
Oh, there we go. My guesstimate is going to be 10 kilometers to go, and no, less than that, because they're going to sprint for the bonus second. Here we go, 21 seconds. It's Kalmarsson and Scorsese up in front. Anders Scorsese from Lillehammer in Norway. Best result in his career to date is a second place at the Criterium de Dauphiné last year and a stage win at the Tour of Austria back in 2019. The 27-year-old from Norway. And Lilian Kalmarsson from Albi, right in the south. You can tell in his voice he's got that distinctive accent. Woohoo! Sorry, Ineos Grenadiers rider there really almost sort of fell into the ravine there. But they stayed upright. Impressive riding from whoever that was. They're number 7. Wow. That was hairy stuff there for a second. But Kalmarsson and Scorsese still have 17 seconds. Fraile is trying to bring them back. King Kung's coming towards the front. There's still bonus seconds on offer here, and they're slight uphill.
That was just talling.
There we go. Well, that was impressive stuff. Oh, Aurélien Paré-Peintre, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's Agitas Citroën have joined the party. They want to sweep something up. They're confident in their man, the man from the Alps, from the Northern Alps, and he wants to get involved in the action today. 15 seconds. We haven't even crossed the intermediate sprint yet. It keeps going uphill all the way to the line. It is on this slight uphill drag. Are the GC guys going to roll the dice? Remember, there's 6 seconds on the line. If you get to the first place at this intermediate point, and it looks like, oh, it's a rider from Jayco. Is it the rider we're expecting? No, I think it's the big frame of Michael Matthews, who has got some points already in the points classification. He's trying to take away points from the other riders. What an acceleration from Michael Matthews.
Yeah, I think that is an incredible acceleration. Did he take that?
Oh, it's Pogacar time. He gets some seconds. So Pogacar gets some seconds, and he wants to follow his good friend and neighbor, Michael Matthews, up in front. Remember, these guys live next to each other in Monaco. They know each other very well. And Michael Matthews there, on a bike throw, gets 6 seconds. It's 4 seconds for Anders Scorsese, and it's 2 for Tadej Pogacar. Pogacar and Matthews now on the front on their own. Vingegaard's looking around, throwing his arms about, doing a sort of, he's doing some sort of sign language stuff here, trying to get other guys to get involved. But Pogacar and Michael Matthews up in front.
Yeah. This is yeah, I mean, I like it. I really do like that Pogacar just attacks when, because the Froome era, let's be honest, was very boring. Froome would get Sky would get to the front, and they would have 6 men, and they would pummel the peloton at 400, 450 watts, and then at the end, Froome would be the only one there, and he would finish it off. Pretty formulaic, very effective. But here, Pogacar, we've seen him attack from 172 kilometers out as well in the one-day races. So, yeah, I like it. But 14.2 kilometers left. We have no breakaway. Well, we have Pogacar and Matthews. But, yeah, I don't know if Matthews was thinking more about Simon Yates here and trying to make sure that Pogacar didn't get the top points. But then why would he go for the first place if he was only thinking about limiting the potential loss to Pogacar?
Yep, exactly that. And it is intriguing, but there we go. Confirmation. Matthews with 6 seconds, Scorsese with 4, and Pogacar with 2 seconds. That's the Col du Beau-Louis. Beautiful Louis. Nevertheless, it's now down to, I think, Tobias Foss at the front here in the yellow for Jumbo-Visma, pushing on the world time trial champion. And now UAE have just disappeared from the front. Where's Domen?
Not sure. But Jumbo-Visma have it under control now. Next pole should bonus seconds be a thing in racing, in pro cycling?
Yes.
I say no.
Yes.
I say no.
Remember, during the Froome era, the Wiggins era, they sort of took bonus seconds out of the Tour de France. They were démodé for a while, and it made for some very boring racing. Whereas I feel like bonus seconds makes things interesting. Do you remember that 2015 Tour de France when they implemented it and people were sort of up in arms, and it actually ended up spicing up the racing over the first couple days? It did.
But yeah, we got AG2R Citroën. They're really attacking here on the descent, 12.3 kilometers. And I mean, What? Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. They're really getting in the mix here, not just bowing down to the UAE, Jumbo-Visma and Ineos Grenadiers pace here. I like it.
Yep. Their man, Aurélien Paré-Pindre from H2R Citroën's homeland. They have so much faith in this young Frenchman. He's finished in top 15 at the two Grand Tours in which he's finished, at the 2021 Tour de France and the 2020 Giro. He was ruled out of last year's Tour de France with COVID, like much of H2R Citroën, and he's already won a stage this year at the Tour des Alpes-Maritimes et du Var, and he wants to get something today in central France. I'm just looking down the group now. You can see, yeah, a couple of the riders from Groupama trying to move up. It's they're working for David Gaudu, the Breton. Also, Matt Payson still in the mix in that green. Can I call it a green jersey?
No.
The points classification jersey. Also, Bora Hansgrohe with Maxi Schachmann as well, trying to get involved.
Yeah, Ineos Grenadiers reluctantly getting to the front as well. Jumbo-Visma up there. Bahrain Victorious looking to get up the road as well. So no one's in control of the peloton right now, but no one's really thrown down the gauntlet either. And I think that's why we've seen the likes of Cofidis and AG2R get to the front here. 92, is that Larry Warbass? 92.
92
no,
is Clément Berthet.
Just looked a bit similar.
Well, Clément Berthet is a household name. Come on.
Not all
It's
AG2R Citroën riders are the same.
Well, he's actually not from too far away. We're in his home region of the Rhone Alps today. Is Clément Berthet?
But yeah, Ineos Grenadiers, they are the ones pushing on. We have no breakaway out in front. Great to have 122 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button. Let's try to get to 100. And yeah, a reminder that we are going to be doing a recap later on the Cycling Dane Extra channel. And we'll be back tomorrow and every single day until Paris-Nice is over. But 10.9 kilometers is all that we have. And there's quite a big climb at the end of this stage.
Yep, big climb. It's La Loge des Gardes, the Lodge of the Guards. And it is 6.8 kilometers long at an average of 7%. The steepest it'll go up to is 8.2%. That's halfway through. The penultimate kilometer is the easiest at an average of 4%, but it kicks up towards the line at 7% again. So yeah, it is a nasty old finish, a little bit like a certain climb in the Vosges Mountains, La Planche des Belles-Filles. It doesn't quite have that steep kicker at the end, but the numbers are quite similar for the first sort of bit of the climb. And it's also a very similar length to La Planche. We would know.
Yeah, there's a video on the Cycling Dane where we cycled up it last year. I didn't actually think La Planche was that bad. I thought it was worse when you see it. Apart from the last bit, which is very, very fun.
Yeah,
but
that bit to the line is horrifying, nauseating, whatever you want to call it. But in the peloton right now, it is Ineos Grenadiers pushing on, working for Daniel Martinez. It's Omar Fraile in the front, former Spanish champion, Grand Tour stage winner as well in the past. And it looks like Kevin Genietz is trying to bring forward the little Petit Prince de Bretagne. David Gaudu towards the front of affairs. Oh, Danny Martinez really sort of dipping down on the bike there through every corner. And yeah, Mads Payson and Michael Matthews still in the mix. Good news for them in terms of their climbing legs for next weekend at, of course, Milano Sanremo. But given that Michael Matthews swept up the 6 seconds there, is this him trying to eye up the yellow jersey if he could hang in here?
That's a good shout.
I don't think he will.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen...
Provisionally, he's in yellow.
We've seen stranger things, to be honest. I mean, Mads Peterson's still here as well.
Yeah, Peterson's still here. Trying to look down the bunch and see who else is still in contention. Kevin Vauclin as well still here for Kia Samsic, the rider from the north in Bio. In Normandy. Also, Nielsen Paulus looking isolated. Magnus Cort in the yellow jersey still up here. Paré-Pindre trying to fight with the wheels to get in the first half of the group. And Pogacar has teammates once again. Oh, it's getting sort of packed towards the back of this group. A couple of the riders struggling to make it through that corner, but with 8.8k to go, we're going to go uphill very, very soon. On the final kick to the line, La Loge des Gardes on Paris stage 4. It looks like Omar Fraile is going to take us in here, and the local man, Romain Bardet, is just moving his way towards the front.
Yeah, this is getting very interesting. 8.6 kilometers now. And Ineos Grenadier is really ramping it up here. They're trying to assert their dominance, a race that they've done so well in ever since Bradley Wiggins won it the first time. And yeah, are they going to try and... Well, we saw them on the back foot yesterday, but they're trying to get their leader back in the title contention here. Jumbo-Visma have a ban up there, so without Quick-Step in there. Movistar, Jaco Aula as well. EF Education Easy Post. We haven't really seen Manu's quote, so I think he might have been dropped.
No, he's still here.
Still there. Wait, it's because the Uno X riders.
Yeah, exactly. He's halfway down the
and
back.
the Jumbo-Visma riders as well. Let's be fair. 7.9 kilometers to go.
This feels like the rush into La Planche, doesn't it? It feels like the riders are really, really pushing on, trying to get onto this climb. They know it's a steep kicker, and it's still Ineos Grenadiers at the front of affairs. It's Fraile behind him. I would probably assume it's Sivakov, and behind it's Danny Martinez. There's a rider from Jumbo-Visma on his own. Pogacar's about 10, 15 riders down, so he's further down than you would have thought. Vingegaard's still in the mix as well. Payson right up towards the head of affairs. And Aurélien Paris-Peintre as well involved.
Yeah, 7.4 kilometers, and the clock is ticking down in terms of the kilometer clock, if that's a thing. But Ineos Grenadier is really putting the pressure on here at the front. The peloton's quite big still. We did think that it could have been a smaller group here. But yeah, the final climb, you've got it on your screen. On the screen there, you can see it. It's... Yeah, what do you think, Ewan? Do you think it's a hard climb? Do you think we're going to see big fractures here on this climb?
I think we might see surprisingly big gaps, to be honest. Probably maybe more today than we're going to see on Col de la Couillole later this week. But yeah, I expect a lot of the riders to really go for it. Sorry, the motorbike coming awfully close. And we're on the climb. Welcome to La Loge des Gardes. We're in the lodge. Who's going to be the king? Let's find out. 7.1% average gradient at 6.7 kilometers in length. And Omar Fraile takes off his sunglasses. He knows he's going uphill now. Danny Martinez sits in third wheel. Matthias Skjelmos-Jensen as well, right involved. And here comes Aurélien Paris-Peintre of Age2R Citroën. Kevin Vauquelin as well, right involved. Pogacar trying to make his way back towards the front. He's got Vingegaard beside him. These two are quite far down the group, to be honest. But Vingegaard glued to Pogacar's back wheel. They're riding side by side with Jack Haig of Bahrain Victorious. Payson is gone. His job was to put Skjelmos in the best place possible. And now we look to the back of the group. But whilst that's all happening, looking at the head of affairs, Age2R Citroën really upping the pace right now.
Yeah, they're really impressing me today. I think this is the most I've seen them in a stage for a long time. 6.2 kilometers, and yeah, this is the climb starts out really hard here, and we're seeing attacks here from AG2R, Arkea Samsic here now going on the offensive.
Yep, Arkea trying to go off the front, trying to sort of tempt these other teams to reply to him. And yeah, Mads Payson officially dropped. That's the green points jersey leader, and a bit of a gap here. Is this Clément Champuissat? I don't quite think it is. Just trying to work out who it is. Nathan van Hooydonk as well dropped. Second place in GC. But yeah, Arkea off the front.
I mean, they have to go long, let's be honest, if they're going to try and win anything here.
They do. This is Michael Cherel, by the way. Michael Cherel, who was in the peloton chasing. Up in front for Arkea. Can't quite identify them, but the peloton is now being led by Felix Großschartner of Austria. Vingegaard in second wheel, I believe. Third is Pogacar. Fourth, Aurélien Paris-Peintre. And also right in the mix is David Gaudu.
I mean, this is very good. This is probably the best mountain training you can get in any form of racing with these guys. What are they doing? I would love to know. But yeah, Groupama FDJ, there's a lot of riders in here. You would have thought more riders would have been left off, but Ineos Grenadier is very far down the field here. Großschartner is putting on a ferocious pace that has just nullified the attack of the AG2 or the Arkea Samsic rider here. But Ineos Grenadiers are very far down the pack here. Danny Martinez, you can just about make him out 10, 15 riders down here. Not a good position to be in if you're trying to get some of those seconds back. Currently sitting 32nd in GC.
Yeah, Pogacar and Vingegaard right where they should be, really, second and third wheel. Vingegaard ahead of Pogacar whilst Grosschartner does the work. Jumbo-Visma, though, nowhere to be seen right now. They're sort of splintering on the climb. Tratnik now dropped. Amounts caught struggling towards the back of the group. So that's not good news for him. Also, Kevin Geniet's brilliant ride by Kevin right up towards the front of affairs. He's leading out David Gaudu in sixth wheel.
Yeah, it's starting the hard pace being put on in the last 10, 15 kilometers really showing at the back end of the peloton now. But Grosschartner, this is what he's been brought in to do. And Jumbo, yeah.
Yep, Yates is far down as well. Just I think Maxi Schachmann has
But
been dropped too.
Vingegaard isolated, completely isolated. That's quite interesting.
They came here to win the team time trial and to put big gaps in, and it hasn't worked. And oh, Magnus caught. Has he dropped his chain?
Yeah, I think you're right. Good spot.
Either that or he's just sort of pedaling circles now, but it seemed like a strange technique for him. He looked frustrated. But yeah, Magnus caught out of the mix for contention today. So the yellow jersey will change hands. To whom we don't know. It could be Pogacar, it could be Vingegaard. It depends on bonus seconds. Pogacar's already gained 2. Looking down the group as well, Matteo Jorgensen still involved, Jack Haig, Yoni Zagire as well. I believe Lucas Hamilton and Simon Yates also still involved. But Grosschartner is at the front of affairs, the Austrian champion, finished in top 10 in GC in the past. And yet Maxi Schachmann has been dropped. This is big news for two-time champion of this race, Maximilian Schachmann of Germany, born in Berlin. But I mean, the wall is crumbling right now for Maximilian Schachmann. It's not going to be a third Pyrenees victory for him.
Yeah, David Gaudu trying to get into the mix here as well. But yeah, Vingegaard, very isolated. Simon Yates, we can see his very distinctive style as well.
Paulus out the back, sorry.
That was kind of their hope to take over the jersey from Magnus Cort Nielsen, but that's a shame.
Yep, Geniet's now out of the way. So at the time, at this point, it is Grosschartner, Vingegaard, Pogacar, Paris-Peintre, Gaudu, and Matthias Skjelmose. Good ride from the Dane. Also, further down the field, Omar Fraile still involved. Or is that Narvaez? I can't quite work out. But Danny Martinez as well still there. Bardet isolated. Jorgensen isolated. Vauquelin still here. Izagirre still here. Haig is still here. And number 143 for Soudal Quickstep is also still here. Is that the local boy? Is that Remy Cavagna? It is Remy Cavagna. Brilliant ride from him. Oh, there we go. Number 71 dropped. Now that is Jack Haig. Out the back. So Gino Merda is still involved, but Jack Haig is dropped.
4.3. Oh, Kevin here we go. Well Vingegaard injects some pace here, and everyone just looks around. The only person that can follow is Tadej Pogacar. Everyone knows that these two are in a league of their own, and this is what we were waiting for. Jonas versus Tadej. The next chapter of these two. 4.2 kilometers, and they're already 10, 20 seconds ahead of everyone here. This is it.
Yeah, well, we knew these two were the two strongest in the race. We're about to get to the hardest part of this climb, and they're sort of stuck to each other like glue. They're mouth breathing. They're looking at each other. Jonas is looking back, thinking, Tadej, what's going on here? How do we control this? Pogacar needs the seconds on Vingegaard, and Jonas will know this. 4K to go on the stage, and Pogacar and Vingegaard have already distance themselves from the peloton, the group of favorites. And who's going to chase? UAE are done. Grosschartner is saying, well, I don't need to do anything anymore. He's going to go pop out the back. It's now down to the other teams to chase things. Gino Merda still involved. Paris-Peintre as well. David Gaudu. This might be where the group behind splinters.
It's like they're on a club run and they just attacked the town sign here, these two.
Oh, no, they're not working behind. They're not chasing coherently.
And they're not working in front either.
No, you can tell Tadej isn't giving it his all. Yeah, it's interesting to see. Pogacar and Vingegaard up in front, 16 seconds of a gap now, with 3.8 to go.
It's Alberto Contador and Duschleck all over again, just marking duties. They almost marked each other out in the Tour de France.
Did you see that little look to camera there from Tadej Pogacar?
He's such a meme.
The smiling assassin from Comenda in Slovenia. But yeah, I mean, he's waiting for something. But then again, Vingegaard could be marking it. Narvaez it is who is involved. So Narvaez now, really in theory, should be chasing this one down. But that's a Jumbo. Is that Sorry. Now it's Jacob Alula, and they've caught him. I was gonna say I could see a yellow jersey up the road, and now it's time for the Prince of Brittany, and he throws his crown on the table, and it's David Gaudu who attacks. Who's gonna respond here? Will it be Vingegaard? Will it be Pogacar? Or are we gonna see Groupama Français déjà go up the road now? David
This
Gaudu,
is a
fourth
good
place at
move.
last year's Tour de
This is a
France,
good
is
move.
alone. Allez, David. Allez, allez. He won a stage of the Critérium de Dauphiné last year when Wout van Aert celebrated too early. The Breton dived under his arms and took the win, and now he wants something out of Paris-Nice. We couldn't be further away from his hometown up in Brittany, but he wants something special from today's stage. And it's Lucas Hamilton, we believe, is chasing back down behind for Jacob Alula. And then finally, Remy Cavagna getting dropped, Jonathan Narvaez getting dropped. It's Pavel Sivakov at the back of the group trying to help Martinez, who's also not really shown anything from today.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Great to have 164 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button. And we will be doing this every single day of Paris-Nice. Apologies for not doing the first 2 stages. But yeah, stage 4 now. And David Gaudu, we all know what he can do. And he's showing us here. Yeah, that line has taken a long time to come back to our streams. But he's showing us here 3.2 kilometers. And Groupama FDJ, this would be a massive win for them if they can pull this off. But Jonas Vingegaard and Pogacar just electric already.
They might have to wait until about 2 kilometers to go, and then they'll properly decide to go in their own effort. But yeah, this is a brilliant move from David Gaudu. What a move from the rider from Groupama Français déjà. Good ride today from his teammate as well, Kevin Genietz, to put him in such a strong position. Paris-Pantre is still here, Bardet still here. They haven't laid their hands down, and they're evidently strong. Paris-Pantre got his teammate to pace him into the climb. The guy from the Alps. And here we go. Just on cue here, it's Aurélien Paris-Pantre trying to respond. He's clearly got good legs.
I mean, if one French rider's at the front from one of the French teams, the other French teams need to respond.
Yeah, exactly that. And
in a French race.
Paris-Pantre marked by Vingegaard.
But I mean, if you're the other contenders and you saw the ferocious pace by Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard, you already know that this Paris-Nice is over. That is incredible acceleration. Well, we're seeing a move here. Jacob Alula. Is that Lucas Hamilton? It didn't look like Simon Yates. Chris Hamilton.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Yates. It could be Hamilton. We need a close-up shot here, but it's chaos behind. It's anarchy because Pogacar and Vingegaard are looking at each other, and now riders are going up the road. It's like the Critérium de Dauphiné in 2014 all over again. And Andrew Talansky is being embodied by David Gaudu today. Looking back, Sivakov is in the mix. Is Sivakov going to try and chase? And now Pogacar goes again. There's a bit of a gap to Vingegaard. He responds, and now the whole group has to go with Matthias Skjelmose Jensen, Matteo Jorgensen as well, all involved. Pogacar's gone. Oh, Vingegaard can't chase now. Pogacar's really put on the afterburners, and Vingegaard's on the back foot now. He's got a gap, and he's bringing back David Gaudu in his own. Pogacar can't believe his eyes. He's got a gap to Jonas Vingegaard on La Loge des Gardes.
Oh, this is alarm bells for Jumbo-Visma. Jonas Vingegaard doesn't have a Wout van Aert to save him here, or a Primoz Roglic. This is mano a mano. The two of them, he's trying to drag it back here. Still 2.3 kilometers to go, 16 seconds up, 15 seconds up to David Gaudu, so all still to play for here, but we've seen Tadej Pogacar, he's ferocious this early season form, and Jonas Vingegaard, is he going to do it here? Can he catch Tadej Pogacar? This is what everyone's tuning in for. Tadej Pogacar versus Jonas Vingegaard, and we're having it in front of our very eyes right now. David Gaudu doesn't want to see the two Tour de France champions powering up the climb behind him. He's ferociously trying to stay away from them, but his gap is evaporating here, disappearing in front of his very eyes. But Vingegaard looks like he is slowly pulling back Pogacar here. They are very similar riders, though, in terms of their acceleration, but we'll see if he... I think Pogacar might just sit up here. He might just sit up.
It's about 3 seconds, and the terrain is going to go down. This is going to be the easiest kilometer of La Loge des Gardes. And Pogacar, no. Pogacar is keeping on going because he knows if Vingegaard gets close to him, then he'll have the mental advantage. So he's going to keep on going. And I think this gap's extending. It looks longer now. It looks like Pogacar's really putting in a big dent into Vingegaard, who for the first time since last year's Tour de France looks to be struggling. Pogacar's bridged up to David Gaudu. The prince has been met by the king, and Pogacar and David Gaudu are side by side. Wow. Two absolute stars of their nations. And it looks like Pogacar has really struck gold today. He's got a gap to Vingegaard. It's getting big. It's getting bigger. And Jumbo-Visma are no longer in sight. They're out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, this is alarm bells for Jumbo-Visma. Pogacar looks back. Is David Gaudu going to be doing anything? I don't think so. But Vingegaard is far back now. I think he's generally dropped here. Very far. You can't even see Vingegaard right now. And unfortunately, Ewan's going to be very happy about this. 1.5 kilometers to go now. 15 seconds down to Vingegaard. 16 seconds. So those 2 bonus seconds by Tadej Pogacar. Another genius move by him. And Pogacar well and truly looking for revenge after his defeat in the Tour de France last year. And remember, UAE Team Emirates have never won this 1 week stage race. So they send their chosen son, their biggest asset to try and break that record, that duck. But they're coming inside the last kilometer in a bit.
Yes, Pogacar and Gaudu now. I think for a second I was worrying that they weren't working together, but I think they just had a very, very brief conversation to each other. They're both going to gain from this. They're both going to move up the GC rankings, and it looks like it's a big gap now down to Vingegaard, proving that Pogacar, when they're head-to-head on this kind of profile, there really is one man that is head and shoulders above the rest. Take sort of cyborg train, and it looks like Pogacar is the strongest, and he's being joined now by one of the riders from Bahrain. Is that it must be Gino Merda. Gino Merda, the Swiss, as well, has bridged up then. So it's down to Gaudu and Pogacar to sprint this one out. The rider from UAE and the rider from Groupama Française des Jeux. But is the rider from Groupama going to play with Pogacar? He's done so much in terms of sort of building up his own sprint over the past couple of years. Gaudu really is a sort of he is a classics contender. Don't forget, he podiumed Liège-Bastogne-Liège back in 2021. He won that sprint on that stage of the Criterium du Dauphiné last year, beating Wout van Aert. He has got a very, very good kick on him, but so does Pogacar, who is hungry for the bonus seconds. With 500 to go, they are still together. 4 hours of racing in the legs at Le Loge des Gardes, and it's Pogacar and Gaudu now, side by side. They know they're both going to gain from this exploit. They know they're both going to rise up the GC rankings, with the rider from UAE, I believe, in a better place to take the yellow jersey.
Yeah,
Gaudu did finish higher yesterday in the team time trial, but now behind, it looks like Vingegaard's even struggling to stay on the wheel of Gino Merda. What's going on with Jonas Vingegaard? We saw him taming the pilgrimage roads of Gran Camino last week, but it looks like it's crumbling on the roads of France. Out of the saddle they go. 300 meters left of the stage. Pogacar roaring through, but Gaudu matches the acceleration. Gaudu in second wheel now, out of the saddle again, trying to thrust his bike around Pogacar. David Gaudu with a second win. Pogacar trying to dance away from him now. It looks like the gap's growing. The gap's gone. It's going to go to Slovenia's way at La Loge des Gardes, and the huntsman at the lodge is Tadej Pogacar, the double Tour de France champion. He's unbeatable. Once again, Pogacar wins at La Loge des Gardes.
Once again. When did he win last time at La Loge des Gardes?
Well, he wins once again.
But yeah, it looks like Vingegaard is in a world of struggle here. Gino Merda distancing him as well, and this is a big shock to Jonas Vingegaard. We were questioning the way he's kind of approached the start of his season. Gran Camino, we said it was not a true reflection, a true competition in a sense, but yeah, Gino Merda, he is going to be the third rider on the stage, 33 seconds behind Tadej Pogacar, but this is first blow to Tadej Pogacar here, and Vingegaard even being passed by other riders here. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is
Valde
bad.
now coming home. Martinez losing time. Yates and Jorgensen. There comes Izaguirre. What a ride by Gino Merda, I gotta say. Third best on the day.
Yeah, that was some finish there, but David Gaudu really capitalizing there as well of the mano-a-mano duel that was looking like it was going to mark itself out of contention for the stage honors, but It has gone to Tadej Pogacar once again. Another ASO race, another ASO victory for him, and we'll see if he can hold this all the way to the finish in Nice. And yeah, we'll wait confirmation of top 10. Remember that we're also doing our stage recap race analysis over on here, the Cycling Day and Extra. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. We are doing stage streams every single day of Paris-Nice. And yeah, and we've got Milan-San Remo coming up soon as well. So plenty of things to talk about and plenty of exciting videos as well to come on the channels. And there's also the Echelon Cycling podcast, if you haven't already checked that out, our new weekly podcast. But Jumbo-Visma, that's going to be the big questions here. The question mark over Jonas Vingegaard, the defending Tour de France champion. No Wout van Aert, no Primož Roglic, no Sepp Kuss to help him in this race. And yeah, unfortunately, Tadej Pogacar and his merry men of UAE Team Emirates looked phenomenally strong today. And David Gaudu, a surprising second, you have to say.
Brilliant work from David Gaudu of Brittany to be right up there in the end. I mean, we were talking about it yesterday. Could he be that lucky number 3 at the Tour de France behind Pogacar and Vingegaard? Well, today he proved that he could be number 2. He really capitalized on that move, and I think morale is high after that 4th place last year at the Tour de France. And that team is going through leaps and bounds. Great performance by Kevin Genietz as well. As we just see Romain Bardet met by his family at the finishing line. That's sweet. Of course, this was the closest stage he'll come to his hometown of Brioude. We'll be back here later this year at the Tour de France in this part of the world as well, at Puy-de-Dôme. But yeah, this is fantastic work by Pogacar, who claims his first ever stage win at Paris-Nice. And the first Slovenian to win a stage since Primož Roglic, of course. Who took the mountain stage back in 2021. We have our classement for today's stage from Saint-Amand-Montrond to the Loge des Gardes. Scott, are you ready to roll through this one?
I mean, we all know the first 3, 4, so you can just roll and I'll get the graphic on the screen.
Okay, it is Tadej Pogacar who wins stage 4 of Paris-Nice 2023. Second place is David Gaudu at 1 second. Third place for Gino Med of Team Bahrain Victorious. Fourth place is Aurélien Paré-Pindre. Fifth place is Kevin Vauquelin. Sixth place is Jonas Vingegaard, and 7th is Romain Bardet. Dani Martinez finishes in 8th, 9th for Yates, and 10th for Matteo Jorgensen. A couple of really strong performances in this top 10. And actually, remarkably, there are 4 Frenchmen in the top 7. That is brilliant news for the host nation of this race.
Yeah, I must say, a very interesting day to say the least. But Ewan, one team that we haven't really spoken about in a while now in this stage, Ineos Grenadiers. Do you think they'll be happy with this result? 8th place for Dani Martinez, not really making that much of a movement in the GC.
Yeah, not huge differences in GC for Ineos. Him and Yates, really, yeah, losing time to the other guys. But to Vingegaard for 2nd place, it's only about 10 seconds now. But then again, if you factor in the sort of minute that they lost yesterday in the Triple T, it adds up. But Pogacar now will be leading this race by quite a bit. It'll be difficult to beat him. But you never know. He might have an off day.
Yeah, thanks to every single one of you who tuned in today. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out. And subscribe to the channel here on the Cycling Day and Extra. We are going to make our recap now, so make sure to check that out where we can delve a bit more into analysis of the stage. But as always, thank you very much for watching. And
let's hold up for the GC confirmation.
Fine.
I feel
we'll wait for the GC. Oh, we got the GC now. Top 10. Yeah, we'll do the top 10.
Yep. Apologies. Here we go. Top 10 in GC. It is Tadej Pogacar who leads Paris-Nice 2023 on stage 4. 10 seconds ahead of David Gaudu, whilst Vingegaard sits in 3rd at 44 seconds. Simon Yates is in 4th at 56 seconds. And Gino Mäder is in 5th at 1 minute and 19. Bardet slots into 6th place at 1 minute and 40, tied on time with Daniel Martinez of Team Ineos Grenadiers. 8th place goes to Matteo Jorgensen, ahead of his compatriot Neilson Paulus in 9th place. And 10th place for Matteo Sobrero. Not bad at all. for Jaco Aula. He must have been up there. He must have been one of those Jaco guys because they had a couple of riders right up there at the front. But yeah, good ride from Sobrero, finishing in top 25 today. Not bad.
Yeah, that's true. But that's basically it. We thank you every single one of you for joining here on the Second Date Extra channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. We will be back tomorrow. Hit the like button, and yeah, check out the recap, which is coming out in hopefully an hour. But yeah, thank you very much for that. And of course, as always, thank you for watching, and have a